What's up, everybody? Hello, and welcome back to some more EU5 as the Republic of Greenland, hopefully soon to become like the Grand Republic. I don't know if it becomes a kingdom tier, what the name will change to. We're going to hopefully grow some more there. Our focus for today is, of course, going to be on the economic growth of our nation. Probably going to try to get through this whole Age of Absolutism here in one shot. Let's go ahead and pull back our guy who's doing this conversion here. We don't want you here anymore. We want to get the best guy possible who can spread institutions. Yeah. We have to wait for them to discover an institution first, it seems. We're saving up money. In the last episode, we decided that we're going to go and take the market of Chesapeake here, and we are going to actually have them build up as many cathedrals as humanly possible. Migration, traction, literacy, pop conversion speed. All nice. We really only need the migration traction. In fact, can I see things that give me that? The universities give it. Cathedrals give it. Universities, let's just make sure we can build this anywhere. Yeah, we're going to want to spam these. Universities are my favorite building so far just because it helps with our research and it just gets everything so good. What can we do? We have absolute rulership now. Probably want to change to that. What's the other one that we had? Unitary administration. Centralization and less proximity cost. So crown power or proximity cost. I think we do the crown power. Yeah, we're gonna need to mark. We need to start looking through our laws again to see what new stuff's been unlocked. There's probably a couple of those we can change here once we get our next parliament call, which is going to be in 3 years. So that's going to take some time. And I think we'll pass said time. We're building a ton of stuff. We had the money to build it, and it's just going to grow. Our estates are also doing a lot. A lot of paved roads is mostly what our burgers are doing. They're just connecting our nation piece by piece, which I appreciate, but we need to focus ourselves on the growth aspect. Get as much building as we can. I would love to see just like a unified building option. Like I want to go and say the same way you can do RGO builder and just sort by that. I would love like a building builder instead of having to do it by type. Let me just say go and build stuff that makes me money, which I can't do, but I can't tell my automation to do it. So let's see. We should see it next month. Right now we have 44. Should be a 1 monthly tick, and then we're going to see a lot of new buildings come up here. I would think 45. Some of them are finishing, so that is new things coming up. Let's see what you're queuing. I see gunsmiths. Trade company, company headquarters, company garrison. Subject type, company influence building. Does it have to be in the company? I bet you it does. Oh. So let's see trade here. Or let's just sort by company. Not burgers. Just show me all. If in the capital, the country benefits by number of satellite trade buildings +3. Local crown power -20%. Maritime presence, tax base to the owner 20%. Maritime presence for the owner. Tax base to the owner is a really strong modifier. Tax base to building overlord +50%. Building costs -10%. Interesting. Does this mean I could come to you and say, I don't want you to be this anymore? Change subject type would be lovely here. Look at our diplomacy. Let's manage our subject. Can I change this? No. Could make them our march. Got to make them loyal first. Let's see if they become loyal here. They should, as we enact our fixed vassal obligations, we should see that tick up. You can see our money tick up with it as well. Republican tradition, or we lose a toll castle. We'll just lose a Republican tradition. That's fine. Make enough money. This is going to tick back down to like 500-ish, but 500 is still a massive amount. All right, there's manufactories. That means we can finally pull one of our guys off. We need a guy who has high admin. I see 99. That's probably going to be the guy who... Oh, 100. Never mind. That is our guy. Come back down here with your nice fancy glasses. You're going to promote institutions in our capital of Chesapeake. Please and thank you. Get on that. Chesapeake, which we once hit 30,000 pop to convert to a city, might not be doable here in this one, but we'll give it a go. We were looking at Denmark here. I would love to change your subject status. How do I get trade company advancement? What was that? So that was started company's customs houses. I thought we had the thing for trade company headquarters here. Trade companies advance. We have that. We were going to test this. So this is in global trade. We have this. We have all of that. What the hell? So you have 24 tax base, 9 tax base. Where's your capital? Not be bog. You have 32 tax base though. Damn. What's the greenest tax base? What? Whoa, Namur. 220 fucking 3? Imagine a bank running in here. You got the Grand Palace, Royal Court, House Parliament. What is that part of? Is that part of France? No, it's part of Namur, subject to France. The city-state of Namur. This one country has more... That's insane. Wow. They have almost more in the single state than Denmark does. I mean, I've done on my own time like a single city challenge, but 225 is absurdly high, even for that. So that's kind of crazy. So what does this do? Age of revolutions are later. I mean, we could use Columbian exchange. Will it spread naturally? Do I have to do anything here? Pueblos, we already had a lot of cotton, so a lot of this stuff spreads naturally. And we could spread tobacco, chili, cocoa, or what have you. I don't think I want to move this, though. All right, you're now loyal again. Game's a little bit frozen. That's what happens when you run on speed 5. It will take up all of your CPU. So, I mean, I could annex you. There's no point, though. And I don't have the expiration to come over here and say, do this. We have what is a papal colony here. Crazy. So am I not going to be able to build a chartered company? I imagine not. It is all on our subjects, too. This error message doesn't tell you what the actual problem is. The problem is they're probably not the right subject type, I imagine. And we just don't have the ability to do that. So if I said to you, I want to make you a... Yeah, that doesn't really help me here. Yeah, no dice. Okay. We would need a trade company for that, which means we might want to put some effort towards getting one, but what does that give us? So that would give us trade income. We already have a ton of it. I think we're better off just improving relations with people and building it that way. Like, we'd think at this point, maybe I can get Castile on my side. My relations, it's really hard now that we're no longer Catholic. Look at your tax base. Whew. Even tendencies. That's the thing. In Castilian view, minus 85 of Lutheran countries. Yeah, that is tough. That is tough indeed. Anyways, we'll play the economic game. We'll bring you guys back once we have an update. I'm gonna commit to doing it now. Let's go to Chesapeake, and we are gonna build ourselves all of the possible cathedrals here. Bada bing, bada boom. Just throw them down. I know there's available peasants. Maybe we do it. Maybe I do all markets. No, we'll leave it be. I don't want to hemorrhage us that much. And it's time to just keep investing our money back into what we're building. So that's what we're going to work on. Keep growing our tax base. You know the drill. We'll see how high we can get it. And hopefully we can make a foray into great power status. That is our goal. So see you guys once we have an update. All right, so our conflict of court and country has fired. The disaster is here. We need to either go towards absolutism or liberalism. What can we do? So, liberalism gives... revoke which cost state censorship. I probably want the crown power here. Let's lose the stab. Let's go absolutist. Stab is gone. That is fine. And what do we need to end this? So we need to have 10 years. 20 years. Bonus estate power for our crown power. Less or equal to 16 estate privileges. And then we have a lot of this. Or have a lot of satisfaction. And both of those need to be true. Either 20 years or we get a high satisfaction. Okay. What can we do about that? Well, our guys do like us. It's going to cut back our taxes, so they're going to actually be better there. Takes a lot of events and things. Okay. Autocratic parliament, no partially absolute rule on crown. Right to the crown. Okay. Interesting. Have to figure those out. Money's coming in. 400 ducats. Exploration events still. I wish I could auto do some of those. The tribes are pissed. Why do we care about the tribes? Commoners are low satisfaction. I don't want to lose 1.8k. Let those guys get angry. And so we just lose some tax base here. Or tax income. Our base is still the same. Money's still fine. Tax efficiency is all fine. Nothing too concerning, I would see. I want to try some of this. So let's say, what happens when we reign in our patricians? So elite council goes away. Curb modifier for 5 years. No noble seats in parliament for 5 years. It gives us absolutism. So what determines our shift towards absolutism, I should say? House of Parliament, Republican tradition. Absolutist influences in government. Crown of head of faith. Okay. Absolute power of president. Secret police. We're not going to get rid of open borders. Not going to get rid of the House of Parliament. Paying modifier for 5 years. They're pissed off anyway. Let's get the... What's the best? For 5 years, we get plus 0.05. So we get it anyway. Let's do the curb noble power here. And what I probably want to do is honestly take one of the high admin guys here. And we're going to just focus towards absolutists to get us out of this. I don't think the Patriots are going to be too much of a concern. We just want to become as absolutist as possible. Get our crown power up because crown power is good. So ruler general favor the ruler, censor press. are all things we can do. And there's government reforms things. Absolutism, we lose arbitration, lose manpower. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Just more absolutist sentiment here. And so we have to do a minimum of 10 years, but we can do high satisfaction of things. Our pastors get some satisfaction. Resistance to the Reformation? Why are we having that now? What do you mean resistance to the fucking Reformation? We're at 95% religious unity. Okay, whatever. I don't think we have to be too concerned about this. I thought I needed to, but it doesn't seem like it's an awful thing for us here. I'll just spend some time investing in things, seeing where we go. I've been turning things into towns. We're turning our southern region. Anything that's over 5K, we're going to turn it into a town, and hopefully get some value out of it. All of these are going to be nice because we can get our control here with enough temples. Let's make sure, even if we don't have available peasants, I want to have temples in all of my towns. These don't take a lot of guys to staff. They will grow naturally, and it's very, very nice for us. Denmark keeps deciding whether or not they want to rebel against us. What is this country strength thing? Together you have 500 ducats and 22k troops. We have 36k troops. Naval power, what do you have? 37 boats. And how many regulars? We've have you beaten regulars. 37 boats. We have more boats than you combined. It's got to be tax base. I think since your tax base has been growing, you're getting a modifier for that. Because it doesn't make sense to me elsewise. I wish I could get a breakdown on why it says minus 11. We have two vassals. Military strength, income, and population. Can I see this as a metric? I see power projection. I don't see just the value this grants us. I mean, up here it'll tell me I won't even do that. It doesn't tell me. I can't seem to pull up your country strength. Just I can get your character list. How I'm never going to use that damn thing. But nothing here about how strong you are as a country. State power, where your capital is. Your capital is Copenhagen. Our relations, our trust. You love me. Your kingdom. What if I go to manage subjects? But tell me here. I mean, I can see their breakdown. Oh, sometimes I just want to learn. I want to understand what goes into that modifier. Like normally you would break it down for me. Like I can see here. How do we determine country strength? Countries. It's a great power score. If I look at Denmark, 313. If I look at Iceland, 153. So does 313, I bet you that's what it is. Those two together have less great power score, or more great power score than me. Meaning I want to get my prestige up. Meaning I want to get a rival. I can't get a rival to get my prestige up. I need something to kick us up and give us a higher chance of getting some of this stuff. So these caravels that we have now, I want to send them over here to patrol the seas. You're going to just take charge of all of this stuff. Why can't I not select this? There we go. Is this not explored? Bet you it's not. You're going to just help me make sure our eastern seaboard is good. I don't know why this is available for selection. There's no passage there. But we'll do that. Oh yeah, this is not explored. So that's why. Sell yourself over there. And I assume that is what we're looking at when we get that bad value, which should be fine. Just brings up to 12K. Need more still. We're still in the damn negative here. How fast do you grow? You lose. Where? Please, where are you going? Peasants from losing social status. Okay, trade maintenance. Huh. It's only from the same market. Whatever. Anyway, we're gonna help put out this fire that is our revolt. Our absolutism will tick up and help us here. States are gonna be a little bit disloyal, whatever. We don't care. We'll get our crown power up, and then all of our money's gonna mostly come from trade anyway, right? Trade income is much higher than anything else we're making, so we don't care about the taxes we get. It's all about trade and cranking out that value there. So that's what we're working towards. And I'll stop again once we have yet another update. All right, we're in 1650. Thought we would provide a check-in here. So we're in the grips of the Little Ice Age. Hasn't really been too much because we are pretty well established here. No one is starving. We do have affected people, but we're not going to worry too much about that. Our prestige is growing. We're getting close to 50. One good event, and we could maybe get it done. What does the enforced rationing policy do for us? Does this give us... No, it's just food consumption in return for unrest. We'll take the lumps there. We're just gonna wait out the 20 years. We're not really getting impacted by it, so I don't think it matters. Our absolutism is sitting at like 77, I think, 72. So we're pretty fine there. We've been doing a lot of building. I just went and did a round of town building here. Thinking about places where they have over 5,000 pops, and we haven't used half of the rural growth here because I don't want to lose levels of the RGOs. And we're using that to get more towns where I'll come through and build more things to increase our control with temples and marketplaces and things, and grow our economy that way. Up to 578 tax base. The growth has slowed a little bit. We're running out of like the easily deliverable stuff because everything over here is far from our zone of controls. Our road network is massive. You can see anywhere that says this shade right here is within our road networks. We've crossed the, what are these? Are these the Rockies or the Smokies? I don't remember. This mountain range here, we've crossed it. I don't remember. This probably will tell me if I'm right there. The forest. That is the Smoky Mountains. There you go. And the Rockies, I guess, are out here. Yeah, Colorado, Rocky Mountains. Yeah, that makes sense. Anywho, that's going well. As far as our colonies and subjects, we get 126 from you. It's outpacing your diplomatic spending, which is great. Our stability investment is crazy expensive. Settlements have gone down. Now we have training field cost. We have a lot of manpower usage. We upgraded our army, and now we have 13K regulars. This should be enough to stop anyone from attacking us. Actually, we allied England way back. And I think it's been enough to keep England from getting into any other wars with France, because they're now they've stabilized, which is good. Really haven't played much of a war game. We've been focused entirely on the economic side, which is good. It's good enough to learn. You know, I've learned a lot in this run about the economy and how to manage it and how colonization works, those different mechanisms. And we've seen kind of the pros and cons of colonists. I think it's interesting that the Papal States in EU5 is a huge colonizer now. They've owned basically all of Brazil over here. A very disloyal... Wait, how does this work? No, you're loyal. You just have a subject that's disloyal. Okay. Interesting. I haven't done much colonization. I'm hoping to discover this region here, but I thought the colonization kind of go on its own. They are getting some of that explored, and then eventually we will have access to it, and hopefully we can get ourselves a colonial nation to see if we can do the trade company stuff, which would be interesting. We've creeped up the Great Power list. We're at 456 score. So in terms of countries we know, we need to hit top 10. 456 puts us right here. So we have Poland, Papal States, Austria, Georgia, England, Morocco, and what have you here. Why is Tunis so high? Subjects, stability, power projection, total trade capacity is plus 45. What's our total trade capacity? plus 54. Okay. So maybe that means we need to increase our growth. Interesting thought. We have more money than I can really spend. That's why I'm doing all these different building projects. So maybe it's time for us to really invest in improve opinion. Then we're not going to get anywhere with here. We're just going to get negative. And 88 antagonism. What do you mean 32 antagonism? Oh, it's because we're different. Great. What a fucking modifier. We have no antagonism with you, right? Yeah, we can just improve with you instead. Pick up Tunis as a friend. Mamluks are probably too far to hate us, so we improve with them. Same with the Ottomans. Improve with these people who are all far, far away from us, and we can use that to hopefully get our area up. Bulgaria is too far. Should improve with Napoli again. Hungary, we won't hit the... Yeah, the Council of Trent going bad has kind of upset our balance of power here by quite a bit. We could do this colony. We don't have... We have to prove the Pope, who despises us and is getting noble civil war. The religious war never happened. Revolutions are later. No superiority. Peace of Westphalia has not been signed. Okay. Nothing going on there. And we are on the losing side of the revolution. It's interesting, though. When I call this up, I still see the Western Schism. So I have a sinking suspicion that this is still going on to some regard. Like, why is it popped up and not cleared out? So I don't know. There's no cancel condition on that based on year. But maybe something happened. I really can't tell. Since we're no longer Catholic, but based off how we saw it glitched, it wouldn't surprise me. So happy we went Lutheranism. I think our religious things here. I feel like there needs to be more depth. There's not really a lot of options to use our influence here anymore once you go to Lutheran. Which makes me think staying Catholic might be the way to go, assuming you don't glitch it out like we've had happen to us. Because you know, like I can change my religious aspects. I don't think I want to. I mean, let's try it now. Let's see. Let's take away the innovative. Right? Let's take away that. What do we want to go to? Proximity cost is nice. 5% there wouldn't be terrible. Assimilation, rebel growth. I mean, the best one I'm seeing is the proximity cost. Ground power is nice. We already have that one, though. So trading literacy for something, or do I focus on... What's my first one? It's crown power. Then we have money. We're going to trade money for control and proximity costs, which is very similar to money. But I'm hoping to eventually get to a state where we can reach anywhere with our roads. That's my dream here, right? This 16. Our next road gets that to 35. And if we can get enough stuff to where we can cancel it out. I don't know. You can't have perfect control like you have in EU4. It's a damn shame. There's no way to you can't blob. A lot of anti-blob mechanics, which is fine. It just means you have to play differently. And getting a handle on that is tough. Because you would think with having 1,000 locations, we'd be a larger economy than France. But France, with half the location size, has a tax limit that is 4 times ours. And if we think about that, let's look at your proximity. So you have a little bit of control out here. I assume down here you have things like a bailiff. Is it worthwhile? All right, we're going to run a test here. Let's see. We're going to queue up a bunch of bailiffs. Everywhere we possibly can, we're going to queue up a bailiff. I don't care if you have available peasants. We're going to build bailiffs. At the start of this, let's see what we're going to be ticking. We project 750, but our actual turns out to be what? All right, so we actually get 750, and our actual is closer, like it predicts 1,200. And if I mass build bailiffs, everywhere we possibly can put the bailiffs, we're going to mass build them. I'm going to see what this affects us. There's other buildings going on, but if we see like a massive change in our control and things, because what we expect to see is our control grow. And then from the growth, you'd want to see our proximity grow, sorry, and then our control would go up well. And so there's probably a break-even point. I don't know what it is. We're probably going to be under that for a lot of places, but we'll see. I don't care too much about the money. I want to get my great power score up, and that is based on control and population. So we're going to see if the bailiffs are going to help here. Just testing the waters, seeing if it's worthwhile. It might not be. It might be a mistake. Whatever. We'll learn. We'll try that out for the next 10 years, see where we end up, and I'll bring you guys back here. We're done with our law changes. I guess we can look at those real quick here. I just want to pick one of our things. Let's do gathering industries, increase opinion, burger mansions. I don't want to contain. We'll do artisan guild complaints. Equally piss off everybody. For laws, we didn't change too much. We went to favor the ruler over here to get us more crown power and tax. And we changed from one of these here. Yeah, absolute rulership, more absolute. Those kinds of things are what we've been doing. So no more law changes necessary. Anyways, time to build some bailiffs, see if we can get our great power score up that way. Hopefully trying to get our prestige to 50 so I can get ourselves a kingdom status. The lack of rivals is what's killing us. I wish this didn't count if you didn't have possible rivals. Like, I can't rival anybody. If I broke my alliance with England, I could rival them, but as it currently stands, this rival mechanic is not my favorite. So we'll deal with that. I hope we get more works of art to help us there as well. So we'll step away and come back once it's time for another update. All right, thought we could give an update here. We're in 1658, and we have a disease absolutely ravaging our country. We started with 6 million pop, and we've now lost 20% of our population to fucking influenza. Which, is that influenza or is it the plague? We have the bubonic plague? 1652? Yeah, we're getting fucking railed by this thing. No wonder. I mean, it's killing everybody, but sucks that it's here. I mean, it's coming through and decimating Europe too. Thought we would not have the bubonic plague happening again. But I guess I was wrong. So we're going to get really set back here, and it's going to take us a while to recover. Alternatively, I am incredibly invested into building up our trade network. I'm building all of our foreign stuff. I'm even going so far as to like overpay, because trade capacity will contribute to our total great power score. So I'm just throwing money at the trade problem. You can see our projected here is 1,800 ducats. We're not going to get anywhere near that. Probably 700 under. Yeah, 700 under because of a lack of trade income, but that will help us. And assuming we were to get economic dominance or become a great power, right? Let's just see. That would put us in third behind Delhi. So we're only under the massive 35 million, 27 million, 54 million. And two of those guys are under each other, which is interesting. They haven't fought any wars to break free, apparently. Sultanate of Egypt is the diplomatic hegemon. Doing some exploration. Money is rolling in. We just have to wait for this to pass. It's going to really set us back here. I hate that we have to deal with this. Killed 74 million. We're about to be cross 1 million ourselves. It's going to literally... Like, this is the whole purpose of the start of the game. We're having another one 400 years in. It's just going to be a terrible setback for no reason. I wonder if this is a game setting. Let's just see. So let's say flavor. When you have historical, I guess we're apparently due to another bubonic plague pestilence arising, and it's gonna absolutely wipe us out. Fun. Well, we have to just deal with it, and I can't do much about it. It means we're gonna have a bunch of buildings that are gonna be understaffed. The good news is we have seen the benefits of the control. You can see I've gone over here. Let's actually do the proximity map mode here. I've been building bailiffs, and it has helped. You know, our great power score, we were above 24. Our population getting decimated is having a negative impact there, since we are very reliant on that to influence our score. And I was so close to getting prestige. It's going to be like impossible for us to become a kingdom just because of the lack of rivals here. I'm taking every event possible that would give us prestige, and it's just not happening. This disaster here is going to time out soon. That'll help us with some money. These guys are going to have more approval of us, so that will help. Golden Age piracy is kind of just still here, you know? So we just got to wait another 9 years for piracy to end. Nothing's really happening at all. It's just a thing happening in the background. We're improving with Morocco, Tunis. Who's next? Ottomans. Okay, so we're going to hopefully pick up Bulgaria on our list of things we want to build. And I would say I should build some disease-resistant stuff, but I feel like now it's no longer worthwhile to have those. Like we've passed the point where they're useful. But I guess I'll throw my money into more bailiffs here. The one thing this game really needs, a menu to build towns. It's so hard to go and find the towns. It's such a pain. You have to go through and say population. You got to zoom in to this level and just go around and click like, oh, this one's a good target for a town. Let's do that. So I really need that to be done through a menu. It is a pain, but you know, we will overcome. Anyway, let's go and throw all of our money into a bailiff. There's a couple here that have available peasants, but I want to build them everywhere regardless. So there we go. You can see it's going to just slowly move the bailiffs up further north, which will give us control over Canada, which is nice. Somehow you can still become my rival. I don't know why you can declare me as a rival, and I can't seem to declare anybody as a rival. So if I go to actions, no, it's not even actions. It's, I don't know. Rivals. Our capitals are not close enough. Sucks. It just means we can't do anything. Like I was able to do England, but I can't do Castile. Can't do France. Two guys I would actually maybe like to rival. Instead, we're just stuck here with a minus 20% prestige malice, which is terrible. So I just can't beat it. Can't beat it. Maybe there's some stuff that gives me prestige later on down here. I'll have to go and dig through it and look and see. But I've not found it yet. We're still going through our original research queue that still has 30 things available, and we're working slowly on manufactories, have you spreading through our country. So we will get there. It's just going to take time, as is always the case, and we're building a lot of things to help us grow our economy. So it will just take time. I'm just so upset that we got ravaged by this again. Like, look, we were doing so well in growth, and now it's like, okay, well, we're going to be set back to 50 years ago, all because of just RNG. So that's unfortunate. Anyhow, we'll deal with it, and we'll overcome, and we'll try to get back on track. But I should share. See you guys later. All right, we're here in 1675, so it's time for another check-in. We're still largely just recovering our population here. We're not even back to where we were before the plague hit us. We were pushing towards 6 mil when that happened, and so now we have to recover that. And at a rate of about 7,000 a month, it's going to be a long process to get all of our guys left. We're still creeping up the ranks of the great power at top 20. I don't think I'm going to be able to become a kingdom just because I'm not getting lucky with events for prestige. We need more works of art. Need more, like, one thing is we can't do royal marriages because we ended up getting a this non European culture and religion. So what I'm doing with my advisors here is I'm trying my best to go and eliminate any religious minority in our nation via conversion. We're getting there. It's close. There's only a few guys left, and they're all in our conquered lands. We're hoping to take that out and get things looking fine. Our market trade is very, very profitable. You can see Pensacola over here gets 500 trade, Chesapeake 200, Nantucket 100. So we make a lot, and even in foreign markets, we've done very well on the trade front, which is to be expected with how we are playing our nation here. In fact, if you look at our trade offices, it's real hard to see. That says 2,648 of these trade offices have been built, and I'm constantly hoping to grow our influence there with trade. We've reached the extent to what we can colonize, or explore, I should say. There is nothing left in our trade range that we can get as far as here because we don't have, colonies throughout the whole way, which is, to be expected because we had to stop growing our colonies in order to grow ourselves. I still think if I went and tried this again, I think playing as Scandinavia and doing the traditional colonial empire would have been stronger. I've really came to understand the power of the population and being able to grow your population without growing your land. Because when you grow your land and you can't play tall, you get less of a return, and you feel that, especially with your population being modified by control, right? So we have a decent pop, but we don't get as much of a ratio of that to power because of our control over our land. Control, which we have worked to grow. As you can see, we built bailiffs literally everywhere. And we now have what was like 15 control, I think, is up to like 29, 30-ish. So we've improved that. There is a cost with that. You can see we're paying probably 110 ducats a month with bailiffs alone. But that is what it is, and we can afford it because our trade income is insane. Uh, right now for construction, I'm going through and building cathedrals everywhere because cathedrals will give us migration attraction. I think I'm being limited to migration attraction for our own markets, right? Like it's not really helping me get. It's not like Vicky where you get like movements outside of it. So that's why places like say Chesapeake, our capital, we're still stuck with 12K pop here. So we're never going to get a city on our seaboard here, just because of how the market's looking. And so even our migration growth, like let's look at this migration attraction. The highest migration traction in the same market, right? So we're not getting like overseas stuff because we're not, a colony of somebody per se, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. We'll just have to get our base growth here. I don't even know where our growth is coming from. Communalism hurts that. Probably should have paid more attention to the communalist versus individualist. So state satisfaction versus pop migration. Which of these does it growth? The traditional economy that does pop growth? No, it's capacity. None of these have. Do you have growth? No, that's food consumption. Traditionalist? Which one of these has growth? I know one is like food and things, but yeah, none of these have growth. Huh. Yeah, pop growth modifiers are needed. The other thing is our settlements. The amount we've been paying for settlements has gone down as more and more settlements get replaced, as they exceed their population size. So like down here, I think is a good example of it. We can't build a settlement here because they now have enough ratio population. I think it's some. I don't know what the exact number is, but yeah, can't get any more settlements. Did I show my tax base? We're at 750 tax base, so we've grown. Gonna probably cross 1,000. Won't catch up to any of these other guys. I mean, if we annex Denmark, we'd have similar amounts, but then our control would hit. We did get all of our things here in the Age of Absolutism. It's in queue, still working. I think the first time we're going to hit an Age of is going to be these manufactories here. Where is the first one for the new age? Modern Row is at 18. Where's the very first one? I think, I don't know. Because we're doing scientific revolution first, I think is what I chose to do. So yeah, that's at 16 is when we get that. And then we're going to go through scientific revolution, hit up manufactories. Have not queued anything over here yet for the military revolution. Seeing what Proximity cost is probably what we want, and the estate satisfaction sounds like the best things there. Bonus to artist, because that gives us prestige. Maybe we can finally hit a good level. And then over here, it's Navy. I mean, Admiralty will give us a little bit of sailors, so why not? Trade company headquarters? We don't have trade companies. Yeah, we've played tall, and we're seeing the end of what we can do with those played tall. Antagonism receive modifier. Interesting. In state action, War College will be helpful for manpower. Okay. Yeah, nothing to do besides doing some research here. We haven't really walked through it. Just most of the research here is going to be just the tier 3 buildings, like paper manufacturing level 3. There's some things like the opera house that we'll build, medical schools, unique buildings like that. But for the most part, it's like just new levels of the same stuff that we got here. I think there's a cool one over here. Yeah. I saw it stock exchange. We want stock exchange because of market traction. And the big one we really, really want is going to be the minting office here. Max control 5%. So that's going to help us get more out of our tax base. And something we're going to be building literally everywhere. So same as a temple, we get a lot of value out of it. Also, I've been building a lot of, that reminds me, I need to probably build a lot more temples. No, I don't. Interesting. So I've been building towns up here in the north. You can see some of them are still finishing. But we're going to be the most pious population, just throwing my money at building the tallest civilization. And we're only being limited by our pop. It's not a money thing. We just don't have the pops to staff our locations. And we were doing fine with it until the plague set us back. So we're now just in recovery mode. We'll probably recover by the time we get out of this episode. But I'll bring you guys back, I think, in 1700. We'll see how our pop growth has gone by then. If this holds, that's about 100,000 a year. 7 times 12 is 70, 84. So 84,000 a year. Times 25 years, 840. So we could probably hit by the end of the century 6 million again, if this holds true. And we'll see if that does. So without further ado, I'm going to step away and I'll bring you guys back when it's time for another update. We were going towards 1700 here, and we were rudely interrupted by Denmark declaring war, or Poland declaring war upon Denmark. Everyone's joined us, so I would think we would have the winning coalition here. Poland with 75k troops against Denmark with 30k, Scandinavia with 86k, England with 113, Scotland. Who are you going to call in here? What is the arithmetic that you have that's telling you can win this? We're the primary guy here. Why? What? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, give it your best shot, Poland. We'll see how you go. I don't think we need to get worried about that. I've been doing some upgrades here. I was going to go to 1700 and we're going to stop it there. Let this war play out a little bit, but then we're going to probably call it. And we'll try to fit in maybe 1 or 2 more episodes in this series going all the way to our end date here. A lot of jump cuts to come. Because we're only focusing on our economic expansion. Right now, we've been working on building our modern roads using our funds that we get. We get about 1,600 every tick of the monthly tick. We get about 1,600 money here. And that's given the fact that I built so many buildings. I built so many training fields. I don't really know why I built this many training fields. I just kind of shift collected with 10,000 gold on like the, mass build. And I couldn't be bothered to go and cancel them. So we now have a massive amount of training fields built between Chesapeake and Pensacola, which is fine. We'll just pay the costs. We've gotten to the point where it's all cathedrals, barracks, what have you. But we want to get our growth up, right? And we're up to 6.4 million. So we've recovered from our cataclysmic second encounter with the Black Death. So now we can just pure profit here. Rank 17, we were able to become a kingdom. I don't know if I've shown that off yet. We got lucky with our prestige. We need to get up to great power status and get 70 prestige if we want to go beyond to the rank of empire. Doubtful, just because we don't have rivals we can select. We get a minus 30 malice. remove that 30 malice, and our resting rate's probably around 70. So we could do it if we had rivals, but we just don't do it because you have to either directly border them or be in whatever nebulous range, and our subject nations don't count. So we're kind of getting shafted there. We did subjugate Cahokia. I converted them to Lutheranism, which is why they're unhappy. Denmark is also unhappy just because of the difficulty that comes with being in the later stages where they give you a malice towards your loyalty, which is unfortunate, but whatever. We'll leave it be. And let's see. So you're probably doing this because you want to take Michael Lubeck. Great Northern Conflict. Oh. Is this scripted? Is that why you're suiciding here? Is there supposed to be some, like, amazing thing that we will get from you? I mean, we'll take war reps here and some money, but I'm just going to maybe liberate a lot of countries here and break you apart. I don't need the forts. Huh. All this just to get 5 prestige. Crazy. Wish you got prestige from your normal war goals like you did in EU4. Regardless, I don't think Poland's going to be a problem here. We'll watch this war a little bit. We get claims on something for 5 prestige. It's the colony. I think that's the subject of the GB. I'd rather get the trade advantage here. Over prestige. Yeah, over prestige. We're just gonna tick away if we get the prestige. Republic of Opusk, I need to subject integrate this subject now. We should probably start that. Just because I've decided to go back to our expansion. I got to a point where I didn't realize I didn't really have much to do with our money as far as building buildings. And so I'm going to start putting that money towards expanding again, even though it's going to deconsolidate us. Yeah, we'd have just enough income now where it doesn't matter. I think even paying 270 for food and then 1,000 from building maintenance, we're just doing fine. So not going to worry about it because it's all covered under the nebulous trade income we get, even though we only get really half of that. So 4,500 becomes what at the turn of the month? After the calculations come in, we lose 1,500 out from trade. So not the best. We've almost reached utopia of, not utopia, but a mono-ethnic state here. Very few. 6,000 is the next biggest, and that's English. And our religion is mostly Lutheran. So we've basically fully integrated as many people as we possibly can. I don't think this is going to be a problem this war. They're just going to all make their landings. You don't have naval superiority. What is the war goal? You have defender ticking. I mean, best of luck. I don't think your 72K is going to beat up the force that you're contending with. But give it your all. We'll just let that run in the background. We don't care. And so where do we go from here? Well, I really want to see the impact we're going to have with proximity once we build out our roads here. A lot of the bailiffs we have are going to become less valuable. I'm really, 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 really missing the lack of an interface to upgrade to towns and cities. We did get an event to get a city spawn here, and it's not Miami. It's like the opposite of Miami. I don't remember what this place is because Miami's right here. But this is now its own thing. It's now a city status. So this is actually our first city, even though it only has 9,000 people. Not Croatan or Chesapeake with their larger amount. But I would really love somewhere in here that I could just go and say mass upgrade towns or something. Yeah, if there's something like that and I missed it by this point in the game, I mean, that's honestly on me, but I just don't think it exists in the current iteration of the game. But it'd be very useful, especially for a massive nation like this, where we're all just barely on that level. I'm curious, I want to check how good Namur has gotten. Tax base of 241. They get 90 ducats income. We, of course, beat them with just like one of our taxes, but just curious to see how they do, since that's quite impressive. Poland's going to get absolutely obliterated here, assuming the armies move in tandem. which they should. Did we show it? I mean, we're not going to fight it. We're just going to let it take its course here. Only thing we're going to maybe do is give this land to our subject. This is why we built out a pretty good alliance chain here. But you can see making 1.5k a tick is going to just... It's too much money. Like, we're running out of things to spend it on. I had to stop building paved roads because I had expanded all the way up to, like, here for paved roads. Like, you can see, like, we're well beyond where it actually makes sense to build the damn things. So now we're going to do modern roads because, you know, it's the only thing I can really spend it on. It'll do the ones with higher control and then go from there, and that's just going to give us I wish does this show? Let's say Chesapeake here. Oh yeah, you got it. It's there. You can see the road. They're starting to get built. That's cool. Okay, so you got this road here. It comes along. That's nice. Happy that it does that. You can actually see your city, your nation state start to take shape. Over here with our 13k troops. Can't upgrade these guys, but that's all cool. We're going to fight this. I don't think we're going to need to watch it. And I'll bring you guys back once it's time for an update because we're just going to really idle on our own. So we'll come back with an update maybe around 95 or whenever the war ends, and then I'll in this episode. So see you then. All right, I think we're going to take a real quick piece in this war. I don't want to really stay in this for too long. And we're not going to take the money that they offer. I know it's 10,000, but we don't have the participation to really get too much out of this. We're probably down here at 0 participation, so we should be going to our subject, and it's really not worth it for us. What we're going to do is we're just going to take the nearest region here, grant it to our subject here of Denmark, let him claim it and expand his control over Lubeck, and by proxy our control. We just need our subject army to stop marching themselves to the death. Right? So we're just... Scotland's doing the one lovely thing where they just land a small troop. They could stack wipe. They land another small troop. The AI is not showing up in strength for this. And there is a 9k stack here that probably is going to get walloped. I would hope. They're getting attritioned at least. So we just need this to tick up one little bit. We had it available here, but I was unpaused and a battle happened. Give me a little bit of ticking war score. Now, and there we go. So transfer this lovely area to Denmark. You are there, and you are there as well. I don't know if this is going to actually be givable to you. Denmark. All of that. Oh, we need to stop. No wonder. Denmark, and that is going to be... Denmark. Good. All that goes to you. We'll take a little bit of money. And our money goes up by basically nothing. Congratulations on your new little piece of land, Denmark. You can almost, if you bought Hanover, you could expand it. But that's going to deal with some of our Polish issues. Get us out of the war. Let us go back to what we want to do, which is expand. We are in the Manifest Destiny phase. Probably could have been coast to coast by now if I really pushed it. But I think consolidating was the right thing to do because at that point we were seeing a decline in our income, and now we have everything kind of in a handle on. I've been able to go back and focus on our economic power. We have a list of markets that is crazy. It just spans everything. In fact, it lags me to load the damn thing. Let's get over to the monthly ticket, see what we actually get from each market as more colonial charters go. So when we first stopped the expansion, we were getting around 100 to 200 a pop, like a tick, and now we're up to 10x that. So it's really where we get value here. I think we made 2,000 that month. You can see things like, part of that's still going to be the war exhaustion. How much do we get from there? 100 from Poland. Yeah, that would help. But you can see, like, Alexandria, we didn't have this built at all. Now we have 230. Wugda, 200. That's not even counting like our own stuff right up here. Pensacola, 800. Chesapeake, 400. Kakuna, Nantucket, Edinburgh. You can see the trend and how it's going. So now we can focus purely on this. I do think we would have been better if we stayed as Denmark. Hindsight's 2020 here. We could have been vassal feeding there instead and have done some Scandinavia stuff. Would have been the stronger play. But I think there's a lot of value to be had with what we're doing, and it's fun. You know, you don't get to try the colonial nation. You want to see how it is. It's not really, it's not fleshed out like we would in EU4, where you have like all the things you can do. I know maybe if I played as a colony, it would be different, but doing the fleet of the colonies is not as strong as I thought. I couldn't. You can't just go and change to form the United States. We are going to stay Greenland the entire time, and that's fine because you know it's a challenge to run as Greenland. We will get Greenland pretty strong. The other thing is that it's really hard to become a great power if you start out weaker here because you just need the pop. And so I guess you need to be doing the conquest. Like if we had their pop combined, we'd be at 10K, 10 million pop. You're at 36. I don't know if I can catch up to you. Like we're at 830. What's the difference between us and France here? Well, 500. All of that's in pop. Our monthly income probably exceeds theirs. Yeah. Our population scaled by control is just so much smaller than theirs. And so it's all about your pop score. That's the only thing that really matters in here. Everything else is just minuscule. And if we sort by pop, we'll probably see a trend of everyone who has more pop than us is going to be ahead of us. Well, not everybody, but a good chunk of them are. Because we're here and we're 830. You got people like Golden Horde. Why are you so terrible? Oh, you're bankrupt. That would do it. And you have very low control. But there's just not a lot of mechanisms to grow your pop. Like to play tall and grow your pop, there's not a lot of stuff. If you can do, you know, migration, but the migration only works within market. Like if I set a guy on Roanoke, we're not going to be attracting people from outside of our nation. We're just going to be consolidating our nation, and that's fine. But I would want something else I can do to do pop growth and make this play style better. Because I guess the intent here is that you would send people to the colonies to work it, but when we're an independent colonist, it's not that easy. So that is a shame. I think we're going to put a cut in here. I need to take a break. I've been playing through like 150 years of this today, and it's been a very samey. We're in a period where it's just right now we're making numbers go as big as they possibly can. There's not a lot of challenge. I haven't been getting into the late game war. Mostly, I just want to get a feel for the tech tree because this is the latest I played in the game, and um, think on what we can do to make the tech even more accessible. Because like I don't know. I don't think we're gonna be able to research everything, and I've been doing a hard focus here. I even picked up a government reform to focus on research. I just don't know if it's possible to really crank out things and even better. I guess you'd have to play a small country and crank up the literacy, but yeah, definitely an anti-blob setup. This rendition of Europa. So we'll see if that gets something that's changed with DLCs to make blobbing more of an optional play style. But I just don't see the value as it stands. We're gonna still do it because it's fun to map paint. And we've gotten to the point where a lot of the negatives, which is tied to income, are exceeded. But there's some things you just won't overcome here. Like you can't exceed your research without playing tall. But at the same time, you can't really grow your great power status just by playing tall. You need to have that population, um, and you don't have the mechanism to do that. So that's kind of the conundrum we're in. That catch 22. We'll get as high as we can be, and I don't think it's wrong. I think if we can measure our wealth in other means, you know, we're right up there number two. This is wrong because it's calculating our trade before we do all the negatives here. But you can see where our wealth comes in, right? We've exceeded Bohemia with half their pop, exceeded France with a sixth of their pop. We've built tall, built a great nation. We just need to try to get that great power score to reflect it. And it's only really through population. There's tradition for your navy, but not like naval size. So it's interesting here. The calculation, I think, is kind of flawed. I want to see more depth to this, but whatever. I'm just kind of going around circles now. So we'll call this one here. If you enjoyed, I've been Sean, Blue Screeners, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Later.